Howdy, y'all. This is Group 10's Methane Production and Feedlots presentation. Myself, Kara, and then Sindel and Garrett will be speaking for you today.
For our topic question, we have, how does methane production in feedlots contribute to global warming and what practices would make a difference? Our topic statement is related to the animal science industry because feedlots directly relate to the production of livestock animals since they involve animals that we raise to be consumed. Our chosen topic conducts research on how we could implement effective yet environmentally friendly practices into feedlots that will make a difference in terms of gas emissions such as methane and climate change.
From 1961 to 2012, there was a big research deal that used simulations that were used to predict methane production and the relationship between feeds and the production of the methane. Um, Doing this research, they were able to find strategies for reducing the methane through improved feed formulations, such as enhancing the digestibility or adjusting the balance of concentrates and forage.
So, in 2015, a U.S. greenhouse gas emissions study was done, and it showed that beef cattle only account for 1.8% of the total emissions, compared to other human-caused emissions being 35.2, transportation 26.4, and electricity being 28.9. Given the impact of these emissions, different feeding strategies have been proposed to reduce methane, and that's going to be a main focus in this problem.
For our popular press articles, we have some of the advantages and key points combined from our group. So we have the idea of reducing methane emissions through feed supplements has gained significant attention within the popular press. Some examples include seaweed and methanogenesis, or the production of methane by microbes in rumen. Some possible mitigations could include improving animal health and welfare to increase production and researching or coming up with diet changes that could potentially lead to the reduction of methane. Articles state that these methods can help stabilize the environmental impact of methane emissions, and this problem is, or the public is highly interested in sustainable farming and the reduction of these productions. On the other hand of things, we have our disadvantages. The article supported concerns that methane emissions from cattle and feedlots are the main source of greenhouse gas, which amounts to a third of the causes of global warming. This is very controversial against farmers and ranchers because they most likely can't afford these changes or they wouldn't want to necessarily make that change. Cow mass could also lead to heat exhaustions and death in cattle, and diet could lead to less weight gain. Vaccines could contaminate products, so there is already a lot of genetic selection in this industry, so this solution would be redundant. All of this highlights the tension between just the economic sustainability and environmental responsibility that we have with gas emissions.
Moving on to our scientific articles, some of the advantages that we found from many different studies were that high grain and additive feeds were actually better for reducing methane compared to straight fiber feeds. Um, it was found that those higher quality feeds were easier to digest, which was a big factor in making sure that the methane was not produced. Um, and with that being said, you have to move over to our disadvantages because some of those additives, yes, they do reduce the emissions, but they can be toxic to the animal, leading to death or some bad issues with their health. And you also have to look at the cost efficiency of these solutions because a high quality feed is known to be more expensive, and not many producers are able to afford something like that, and they believe that it wouldn't be efficient for their operation. With all that being said, there's many different things that we need to work on to reduce methane emissions, and there's so much currently being done.
Thank you.
Thank you, and
Thank you.
Jacob.